Hey guys, I'm Ben. I'm just going to quickly walk you through the set that we put together for our vampire skit. The set kind of comes as is. There's not a whole lot we actually did to make it work for the skit. The whole point of our studio is that you can kind of just walk in and shoot. When you hire our studio, you get access to all of our sets, all of our props, and all of our equipment. So I think the only thing we actually did to make it work was prop up a side table on a half apple box and bring in some blood props that were specific for the skit. The rest of it was kind of just around concept and lighting. For lighting, we have the Aperture 300D with the softbox rocking the silk and a honeycomb as a key light. And that honeycomb just helps direct the soft light to the subject without having it spill on the rest of the set. And that actually comes included with every studio hire, by the way. And the only other light that we brought in was the Nanlite RGB tube behind me, which we used as a little bit of a hair light and also an accent light just to bring out a bit more detail in the couch behind me. The other two lamps are just practicals. They come included with the set, and the only thing that we did with those was just dim them down and change the color to match what we were already doing. On the topic of color temperature, the Aperture 300D is fixed at 5600 Kelvin. And so we set the rest of the accent lights in the set to be super warm, around the 2800 Kelvin mark, I think. And then we set our color temperature on the camera to be super cool as well, around the tungsten mark. This gave us a really cold look on the subject, made him look really gaunt, while the rest of the set stayed really warm. So our camera setup is pretty light and pretty simple. We're shooting on the Panasonic S1H in 5.9K open gate. We knew we were exporting in a 4:3 aspect ratio, and the open gate on the S1H is 3:2. So that gives us a little bit of wiggle room in post to slightly adjust the frame without losing too much resolution. And it also allows us to use the full frame of the sensor. We wanted to use the full frame of the sensor because we also knew that we were shooting on the Zenit 85mm. The Zenit is the cousin of the Helios 44-2 lens, and both of these lenses have the iconic barrel distortion bokeh that really shines on the edges of frame. And we use both the Zenit and the Helios 44-2, which is a 58mm lens on this shoot. And shooting the full frame of the S1H allowed us to get every bit of character that both of these lenses have to offer. In front of both of those lenses, we have the Allure Mist from Nisi, and I absolutely love this filter. Given that the skit is a bit of an old world skit, and we're shooting on a high resolution camera in a really dark scene with some harsh accents such as the lamps and the candle, the Allure Mist blooms highlights so beautifully, as opposed to something like the Pro Mist, which I feel like has a very tight bloom, but that's just preference, that's just me. Everyone has their own taste. We also have the Tilta M12 matte box, I think, and that's just to house the 4x5 Allure Mist. The only other interesting thing, I think, is the Small HD 702 Bright monitor, which I don't think they make anymore, which is a bit of a shame. So rest in peace to that one. But that's it. That's our camera setup. It's pretty small, pretty light, and gives a great image. So